Hello, this is Pavel, and this is today's operating brief. I build technology for service companies, and on this channel, I look at what technology changes for business. Not the tool, what changes after the tool arrives. Today, the one idea underneath everything I talk about here. The service company of the future is a technology company, and it has to be built, run, and scaled like one. Not a service company that bought some software. A company whose core is a system with people working on the top of it. That sounds like a slogan, and it isn't. It is a survival position. And by the end of this, I want you to see exactly why you don't get to opt out of it. Let's start with who comes for an industry. In 2011, 15 years ago, Mark Anderson wrote one of the most accurate predictions of the century. Software is eating the world. In every industry, sooner or later, a software company shows up and takes it over. Taxis had Uber, hotels had Airbnb, video rentals had Netflix, retail had Amazon, travel had Booking and Expedia. Notice the pattern. In every single case, the company that took the industry was not the better version of the old business. It was a technology company that happened to enter that market. Uber didn't win because they were a better taxi company. It won by being a technology company pointed at taxis. Here's the part that matters for you, and it is a contrarian turn. Everyone treats disruption as an event. The moment the new player arrives and the old ones scramble. By the time the disruptor arrives, the outcome is already decided. The winner was determined early by who was built to absorb technology and who wasn't. So the mistake is waiting to see if it happened to your industry, waiting for proof. You don't need to wait for the disruptor. You put yourself in a position to survive before it shows up. Because after it shows up, it's too late. The disruptor is always a technology company. The only question is whether you become one first. Now, the objection I hear every time: we are not a technology company, we are a plumbing business, a clinic, an assistance company, real people doing real work. Technology companies are a few kids and some code and a machine. That objections misunderstand what a technology company actually is. Look at the companies we all agree are technology companies. Booking, Expedia, Airbnb, they don't employ a handful of people and a large machine. They employ tens of thousands. These are not garages. They are large organizations full of human, most likely bigger than your company. So, what makes them technology companies? Not that they sell software, not even that they write software, not that they have few people. It's how the business is powered. There's a line I like from Marty Kagan. Being a technology company refers to how you run the business, not what you sell. Airbnb doesn't sell software to travelers. It sells a place to stay. But underneath, the business is a system, and the people work on the top of it. The system is the company. That's the flip. In a traditional service company, the people are the core and technology helping them. In technology company, the system is the core and the people work on the top of it. And here's the reassuring part. Becoming a technology company does not mean firing everyone and replacing them with machines. Booking has more people than most traditional firms your size. It means changing what sits at the center, the system at the core, your people doing judgment, and exceptions on the top. You're not being asked to become smaller. You're being asked to change what is load bearing. I've seen technology evolving for a long time, and let me tell you the story that convinced me that this is a real, and I lived through it. I remember when every corner had a travel agency, a real person at the desk who booked your trips. And I remember what people said when the internet came for them. You cannot replace a business that knows you, that knows your preferences, knows your family, asks about your kids. That relationship cannot be automated. And it sounded true, and it felt true. Guess what happened? Nobody needed the travel agency to know them. Nobody missed being asked about their kids. As long as there is a straight, clean path in and out to book the trip at the level they expected, people were fine, more than fine. And here's a hard lesson, it is a contrarian one. The relationship was never the product. The travel agent believed the relationship was the mode. It wasn't. The customer was tolerating the relationship as the price of getting the trip booked. The moment technology delivered the same outcome without the friction, the relationship turned out exactly that, friction. This is called disintermediation. The oldest move in technology. Remove the human in the middle. They remove the middleman. Connect the customer straight to the outcome. Now, don't hear this as relationships don't matter. Relationships matter enormously, where they change the outcome. The travel agent's relationship didn't change the outcome. It just decorated the transaction. So ask the honest question about your own business. Where does the relationship actually change what the customer gets? And where is just the friction they tolerate to get the result? That leads to the most uncomfortable law of all, and it is the old one. When a technology company enters your industry, it doesn't just compete with you. It resets what your customers expect. It moves the baseline, expected service baseline. And the baseline has a brutal property. The customer gives you no credit for how you meet it. They don't care that you did it all by hand. They don't care that a real person stayed late or that you have 30 years of experience in the back office. They see the outcome and they feel the friction, that's all. If a technology company confirms the booking instantly, then we'll get back to you tomorrow isn't charming anymore. It is slow. If it sends a status update automatically, then your customer calling to ask where things stand isn't a relationship. It is a gap. Here's the trap. Doing it manually, with care, by hand, that feels like your advantage. But the customer doesn't see the effort. They only see the result and the wait. The effort is invisible, and the invisible effort earns nothing. So the manual work you're proud of isn't a mode. It is a cost. One you're paying that the customer doesn't value to deliver outcome they now expect to be instant. Every year, the effort to match by hand goes up, while the credit you get for it stays at zero. That's why you have to match it one way or another, not with more heroism, with a system. So, what do you do? Not wait and see if it happens to your industry. We covered that. And not go buy some software. Buying tools is not becoming a technology company, any more than building a hammer makes you a carpenter. Becoming a technology company is an operating model change. It is building an organization that absorbs technology continuously as a normal capability, instead of treating every new tool as a fire. In a traditional service company, each new technology is a disruption. In a technology company, absorbing new technology is just next Tuesday. So here's the move, and you can start it this week. Take one core service you deliver, just one, and ask, if a technology company enters my industry tomorrow to deliver exactly this, how would they build it? Not how would they do my job, but how would they build the system that delivers this outcome, with people on the top for judgment and exceptions? That's your target. The gap between how you deliver it today and how would they build it is your roadmap. And you get to close it before they arrive instead of scrambling after. Because this is the whole point. You don't have to be disrupted. Disruptions only happen to the companies that waited to be shown. The company coming for your industry will be a technology company. There is no version of the future where it isn't. So the only real question is the one they ask in the plumbing shop. Every service business that survives the next decade will be a technology company. The one they don't figure out that get absorbed by the one that do. Which one are you going to be? So that's the thesis under everything I do here. The service company of the future isn't the service company that uses technology. It is technology company that happens to deliver a service. The disruptor is always a technology company. Technology company doesn't mean fewer people. It means a system is the core. Customers give no credit for manual work, and you don't have to wait to be disrupted to move. Build it, run it, scale it like a technology company before someone else build the version of your business that does. And remember, the tool is never the point. What it changes is. And I'll see you next time.